Hello, welcome to my day 31 progression guide. So for today, we got another level increase, but for the people that have been struggling to level, I got some more good news for you. From what I hear, it looks like the days that we get a level increase are going to slow down. So currently, every 2 days, we get 1 level increase. Now it's going to be every 3 days we get a level increase, meaning that you have 3 days to completely cap this experience. So starting out, you want to do Mia's Kitchen, you want to do your bounties, then you want to do your ruins. So for today, we have access to C01 hard, and if you still have any story left over, you want to go ahead and complete that. Now let's talk about vitality. So for today, our joint operations has bracers, chess piece, a Huma matrix, and a Samir matrix. So this is pretty good, especially since we have a chance at that Samir matrix. So if you wanted to use a couple vitality potions on this, it wouldn't be that bad of a move. But I do want to mention, eventually we're going to get to level 65, so you do want to make sure you're checking your interstellar exploration and seeing if you have any level 3 stargates. And how you know is if you have 2 or more in this category. But on top of that, you might want to consider doing level 2 stargates for booster frames and nanofibers. So let's take a look at my weapons. So if we notice, for Nemesis, let's use her for example, I need 11 nanofibers to fully max this once I reach level 65. But I need to max up 3 weapons, and for some people, they might have 2 teams. Like my Nemesis is for my Volt team, but I'm going to probably have a physical team once Claudia comes out. So let's just say they all use nanofibers. I need 66 nanofibers. So you can see how this can get pretty high pretty quickly. So you might want to start farming now for some of those materials instead of regretting it in the future. But if you can't find any stargates, you can do dimensional trials, but just make sure you do difficulty 5. And if you need money, you can do space-time domains, but just make sure you do difficulty 5. For other ways to get experience, you can get rust and iron chest, password chest, and supply pods. But other than that, check out my experience guide if you want some more ways. Then don't forget to do your daily gifts. You want to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins. You want to go to Cetus Island and do the claw machine. Then you want to do your 2 ability trainings. Quick tip, if you get the rhythm training, Samir is MVP. Next, you want to maintain your vehicle. So some of the best places is Astra Shelter. The next place would be Bangi Shelter. After that, we got the Black Market. And the best place, High Crows. Also attack any elemental rocks you see for crystals. Now let's talk about the Road to Strife event. So you want to make sure you're getting your 1200 star grit for the day. I missed one day, so I still need to get 2400 star grit. But for today, we got access to all the events. So you can do Stellar Ray Divergence, do 4 stargates, knock out your 1200 star grit. You can do Orienteering, where you're basically racing. And the higher you place in the race, the more star grit you get. Or my favorite, Doubles Mega Arena, to where if you win 3 matches, you can get your 1200 star grit for the day. Only problem is, it is a little laggy, so that kind of hurts it, but it's still really fun. Next, we got the weekly tab. You want to make sure you're doing enough things so that way you can clear the top, which leads us into our challenges, starting out with the Bygone Phantasm. You want to make sure that you're going in here and trying to climb the ranks as much as you can. We only have 3 days left. Then we got Void Rifts. You want to go ahead and knock that out so that we can get that massive experience, plus you have a chance of getting that SSR Matrix. Plus, make sure this is a first-time boss skill for you. Now let's talk about the wormhole. Now, if you were able to complete the wormhole yesterday, you get access to the endless mode, and the immunities have changed, so the Volt team is back. So if you weren't, you can try to go in there again and perhaps use your Volt team or use a better team than what you were currently using. But I will tell you what I ended up doing to finally clear this wormhole. I had to really make sure that I upgraded my gear. Like, upgrading my gear immensely powered up my character. And then I was able to use a King, Zero, and Nemesis combo to where I just kind of kept myself healed enough, and I was able to do enough damage to where I was able to clear through these levels. Again, some of the teams that stood out to me were using, C1 Marrow, so that way you can heal once you break the shields. Frigg's very good in this. You can also use the King trait to heal yourself up. I already mentioned Zero and Nemesis. They're a pretty good combo. And then, just having that fire team. Also make sure you get very good runes. I really like the Blood Rage, but I do want to mention that when you choose Blood Rage, you are lowering your crit. So if you're going to go with this strategy, make sure you're choosing most of the crit things to make up for it. Then besides that, I just got all the runes that gave me attack, or they gave me flame attack because I was mainly using King. And then if I had absolutely nothing at all, I got this HP regeneration rune. Now let's talk about Frontier Clash. I know a lot of my well friends pretty much use Crow to help carry us to where we get those 5 boxes. Some free-to-plays are using Crow, so that way they can get a couple boxes. There is a rumor that he's going to be nerfed and he's going to probably be doing 1/4 of his damage. If that's the case, you might want to try to knock out any of your attempts as fast as possible, because you don't want to wake up one day, find out that Crow is nerfed, and now you miss out on a lot of loot you could have gotten earlier. And last but not least, we have Apex League. If you're trying to climb the ranks and get to Grand Marshal, make sure you put in a couple hours each day. Next, we want to do our daily buys. So go to shop, pots, then buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it. So now let's look at the commissary. Starting out with the Crystal Dust Store. So you want to make sure you're buying your advancement modules and your booster modules before the week ends. Now we have the energy crystal dust. Now I recommend that you either get the hand guards or you get the boots. The reason being is they both have crit on them. And what you want to do is get max rolls of crit into each of those. Currently right now I have some boots that have 3 rows of crit and my gloves only have 1 rows of crit. So I'm going to be getting gloves and boots for a while. Once you kind of get a good pair, then you can consider getting the other pieces of gear, but that's just going to help you in the future. So I would just kind of focus on getting gloves and boots. And then for the purple crystal dust, save that for Vera. Now the crew store. Now I have to go ahead and mention, I do not recommend that you get any potent Omnium crystals anymore. Currently right now, I have enough potent Omnium crystals to almost max out my full suppressor, even though I don't have enough CS to do that. So I would focus purely on buying relic shards. You could also consider saving your points to where you see the Omnium shield, because again, once you reach level 5, you get a 25% damage buff, not only for you, but for your allies. So I did want to quickly mention, most people have completed the Wanderer's Log to where they got this SSR relic box. And as I mentioned, Omnium Shield is a really good pickup. Another consideration that you might want to think of is a drone. And if you ended up picking something else, it's not the end of the world, because eventually we want to get all the relics maxed out. But how you get those crew points is make sure you're doing your daily donations and you're completing your 4 missions for the week. Then we got the support store. You want to make sure you're buying your 3 joint supply chips. The best way to get support points is to do Frontier Clash, normal. You get 375 support points as well as machine parts and lots of experience. The second way you can do it is to do Matrix Drills difficulty 1 in a team of 2 and run that over and over for 150 support points. Or you can do Void Rifts for 150 support points. Or you can farm World Bosses for 100 support points if you force a Cipher, but you also get machine parts. Other things you can do, you can go achievement hunting, explore the map, or go mount farming. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, you can check out my day 30 video. But other than that, talk with you guys later.